Hi, my name is Chris Boyer, and I'm a graduate student at Azusa Pacific University, and this recording is a response to a prompt for my graduate course, PE 580, and the question for this prompt is, why on earth are you doing this, teaching and coaching? Who is the distraction in your life that God has provided to teach you as a mentor, and teach him or her? Please do not identify this person's name and explain the situation. So the distraction that the prompt is referring to is in regard to a movie called Radio. And in this movie, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Ed Harris were co-starring, where Cuba Gooding Jr. was he had some sort of disability, behavioral, mental, I'm not sure what he had. I saw the movie a number of years ago. But Ed Harris was a high school football coach, and he tried to include Cuba Gooding into the team, and it was just such a heartwarming thing to watch it. And as I watched it and I thought about my distraction, I thought of people who had real disabilities from my past, who I had been involved with, and who I felt like really I learned something from. So I want to share that before I share what I feel like is more relevant in my current life. And in my past, my first career was in Christian ministry, and I spent a lot of time in student ministry. And so while I was in student ministry, one of the students in particular had a younger brother who had a disability, and he had Angelman syndrome, which meant that he basically was completely disabled. Like, he would never be self-sufficient. And this young man that was in my ministry, I became really good friends with him. And his little brother, I became very close with him, and I was just very endeared to them. And I felt like, that really changed my perspective on disabilities at that time. And that was around 2008, 2009. And I really think God helped guide my heart through that situation to understand disabilities more. Why on earth am I doing this? I am doing this because I feel like it's a calling. I feel like through my nature and through my nurture, through the gifts that I feel like I've been given, and also through my upbringing, I have found that teaching and coaching is something that I am called into because of my gift set and because the way that I am. And so because I like to teach, explain things, because I enjoy to learn, because I love to be engaged with people, it has been something that I've been called into. As far as who is the distraction currently in my life, and that God has provided to teach me and mentor me currently, I honestly feel like it's not anyone with a disability, but more like it's the boys who I coach, and it's the boys who I coach, because I am learning lessons about myself and about leadership. And I'm going to turn 40 years old in December. And I feel like, sometimes I'm just floored. Like, what do I do? I need to get input. I need to pray. I need to meditate. I need to go to God with this problem, and I'm encountering new leadership situations or new interpersonal dynamics where I feel like that they're teaching me. And so I feel that God is teaching me through my team to be able to continue to refine my character. And so one in particular, I will give the individual the name of Sam. I feel like Sam has challenged me in different ways. Like, I've felt dishonored at times, many times, and I'm having to learn to try to understand him, get to know him, love him unconditionally. But at the same time, I'm learning about how, wow, I need to implement a greater degree of discipline. I need to be more of that X theory leader that has, concrete consequences and behavioral management plans in place. Whereas I feel like I'm much more of a laissez-faire leader, and I believe like that people are inspired and that they can change and that they can do it. And, so I feel personally like I need to be I'm learning a lot more about how to implement discipline, implement a plan, and because I'm just relationally based, and I want to connect with people, and I'm just keep giving them grace, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I've created a culture in my leadership that that I didn't want to have. So I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm looking forward to hearing your responses.